The Pro Bowlers Tour continues its trek through the Lone Star State. We're in the capital city of Austin. It's the fourth of 8 nationally televised events here on ESPN. And a tremendous field this afternoon. Included in the group, lefty Parker Bohn III. He captured 4 titles last year in search of his first win in '99. Fourth seed, Bob Learn, his first appearance since November of 1997. And our tournament leader, Pete Weber, who's won 24 PBA championships. He has one remaining goal, PBA Player of the Year. For 16 years, the Pro Bowlers Tour has paid a visit to Highland Lanes. 119 bowlers started play on Wednesday. We're now down to the top 5 here in the Columbia 300 Open. In our opening match, 1992 Rookie of the Year Jason Couch squares off against Bob Learn Jr. Learn has thrown 61 career 300 games. Our number 3 seed, winner of 17 national titles, Parker Bohn III. Qualifying number 2, a sensational amateur player, trying to make his mark on the PBA Tour, Patrick Healey Jr. And the player they're all trying to beat, Pete Weber. Hi, everyone. I'm Phil Ferguson, along with my broadcast partner, Marshall Holman. So very nice to have you by for the next 90 minutes or so. This special presentation of the Pro Bowlers Tour on ESPN. And, Marshall, what a talented field we have this afternoon.
Phil, absolutely. And what I like about our top 5 is balance. We have 3 right-handed bowlers, 2 left-handed bowlers. There should be no advantage for any of the top 5 today.
A couple of players you think are pretty strong.
Well, without a doubt. And number 1 and foremost is Pete Weber, our tournament leader. And Pete Weber's got that distinctive style. He's got the very, very high backswing, and he's a very intense player. Now, he's got 24 PBA titles. Is he goal-oriented? You bet he is. His dad has 26. That'd be Dick Weber. Pete wants a couple of more titles to tie his father and then pass him up. The other player who is very interesting to me this week is Jason Couch. Now, Jason Couch has 5 PBA titles, but he's never won from the never won from anywhere but the number 1 position. I talked to him about his tournament last week where he didn't bowl very good. This is what he had to say.
This is probably the most focused I've come into a tournament in a lot of years. After last week's performance on TV, I was very upset at myself. Thought I could have bowled a lot better game, and I'm going to do that today. I'm going to make 12 great shots that first match so I can get to Parker and show him how to bowl.
That'll be interesting. First things first, though. Got to get by Bob Learn. Should be an exciting afternoon here from Austin. It is match 1. Couch taking on Bob Learn Jr. And Learn will start the match. 3 PBA championships for Bob. Tossed one of 7 300 games today. This week, Jason Couch also a 300 game this week. And Learn starts it off with a strike.
Confident player, Bob Learn. Off to a great start. And now we get a chance to see Jason Couch. We all remember last week when it was 144. Jason certainly wants to make amends for that.
He said he was totally embarrassed by his performance last week. Try to make amends. First shot for Couch.
And comes in light. Leaves the 3, the 5, and the 6. A difficult spare, many ways to be missed. Jason should throw the ball hard and straight.
A couple of top 24 finishes for the lefty. He was the 1992 Rookie of the Year. He tries to make the spare here in the first frame.
You know, right now, that is nothing but relief for Jason.
Yeah, he started off slow last week in Dallas and really never got going.
Now, Jason likes to throw the ball hard. You should take a look at his average. 219 for the year, 219 for the week.
Got it out. Comes back, able to kick out the 7-pin.
A little slower that time for Jason, able to get the proper friction down the lane to hook the ball back into that 1-2 pocket.
Learn and mentioned before, 61 300 games. They call him, and that's why they call him Mr. 300. He's tossed a few of those perfect games. Second frame.
Hang on. don't think Bob was really pleased with the way that ball got off his hand. Wasn't as clean a release as in the first frame. Ball hooked a little bit early, leaving the 4-pin. Bob wanted to say hi to his children, Brandon and Brittany, who were watching in Erie.
Able to make that 4-pin spare. Said one of his goals to win enough titles to get into the Hall of Fame. And is it that magic number of 10 that all the players look for?
Well, I think yeah. At least 10. If you can have 10 with a couple of majors thrown in, then that's probably good enough. Right now, Learn just trying to concentrate on striking here on lane 19. Now you heard him ask for a pin to hit the 4-pin. Once again, coming in just a little bit high. He's got control of the pocket, but 3 shots thrown, only 1 strike.
Learn averaged 218 last year, a little bit above that this year. Picks up the 4-pin. So we got a tight match here in the first game here in the Columbia 300 Open. 23rd year Columbia sponsored an event on the Pro Bowlers Tour. He hung around the top 5 or 6 all week long, settling for that number 5 position to start the show.
Made the proper adjustment, Phil, on lane 20, able to get his ball to come back into the pocket, and Jason Couch made a remarkable comeback toward the end of bowling in match play. He was quite a bit down going into the last couple of games, and then he shot 299 to go along with that 300 he had earlier in the week. 299, the 41st game of match play, and secured his spot for the top 5 today. For a 21-pin lead with a strike here in the 4th frame.
So Couch pumped up, a little bit different. Jason Couch from last week. Spare with 3 in a row, and Jason Couch is on top here in the Columbia 300 Open, our very first match, an exciting match. Stay with us. Bohn finds himself down a few pins, but boy, he can strike, can't he, Mark?
Well, he's an explosive player. 61 300 games. I think that says volumes.
His first appearance since November of '97. Kind of flattened out.
Well, on a lane that he came in high on the left, the 4-pin, he made the adjustment by getting his ball further down the lane before it started making the hook back in the pocket. But, you know, sometimes you see a player make an adjustment for what may have been an errant shot. And I thought that when he left the 4-pin the previous time on lane 20, he got his ball just a little bit down the lane early. Important spare. And there's Bob's wife, Stacy, who flew in last night from Erie to be with her husband, Bob. She'd like to see a few strikes right now.
Learn now, strike, and 3 straight spares, down 24. Very focused. Better shot. Gets him to go. Fun to watch him bowl. Now, Jason Couch with a 3-bagger.
Comfortably 24 pins into the lead right now, Phil. Working on a strike with the opportunity to extend that by another 10 here in the 5th.
Looked like he stuck just a bit at the foul line, but did not hinder his swing or shot.
See Jason's ball going down the lane, high flush in the pocket, and after a 144 in Dallas last week, believe me, this feels really good for Jason.
And I'm sure his wife Kelly and 2 children, Courtney and Healey, hoping that Jason can come through. He's won 5 titles, all from that top spot, however.
Well, last week I questioned whether he was using his B or C game. The A game is here for now, and for Jason Couch, it's got to feel great.
Bob Learn working on a strike. Just leads the 6-pin.
Now Now Bob's a little bit lost on lane 20. He's come in, left the 4-pin, then he came in light, left the 2-4-5, and now right through the nose as he's 44 pins in the rears to Jason Couch.
Started off a little slow this week and then caught fire. And as far as the cash percentage here on tour, Bob is in the top 5. Very consistent player. There you see the score, trailing by 44, so he's going to have to strike and strike off in the 7th frame.
Liked it off his hand. Bob Learn with a great shot on a left-hand lane, trying to get himself back into the match. We'll see if he can do it when we return.
Ready for some more action, and Jason Couch with a 5-bagger, and he said he wanted to meet Parker Bohn, and well, he's doing what he needs to be done here.
Jason and Parker have been roommates on tour for many years, so they're good friends, and Parker's got the better of him for the most part. Jason wants that opportunity, and right now he is locked in, looking very, very strong. Ball going out to about the 7th board, hooking back in, just the way he drew it up. And the reaction, thank you.
Well, he's bowled very well. Last week, of course, made the television show. That's tough to do. Faltered a bit from the TV lights, but likes his TV pair this week, averaging 239, blistering 239, and he has come up with a spare, and now 6 in a row. Did you see the gold pins?
Those gold pins, 4 ounces heavier than the pins used for the qualifying and match play of the tournament. And what that 4 ounces does, Phil, is it makes it a little more difficult to carry the off hits. And also, if you come in a little bit high, more of a tendency to leave splits. 6-pin for Jason Couch. That's all right. He's making lots of very, very good shots. Finds himself in a very, very good position. 53 pins ahead.
Along with those 5 national titles, 13 regional titles. And I just figured it out. Among the group, I get on this 300 kick, but among the group, 153 300 games among the 5, and Patrick Healey hasn't proven. So among the 4, but there's a spare. For Jason Couch, and should a player toss a 300 game today, an extra $10,000 payday courtesy of the PBA. First TV appearance in a while for Bob Learn.
And a must strike on lane 20. And a terrible break for Bob Learn. The ball hooked in.
With a power player like that, Marshall, kind of unusual to leave the 5-pin.
Well, the ball was hooking back in. It caught a little bit of the 5-pin, but maybe that was that extra 4 ounces I was alluding to earlier with the Brunswick Pro pins.
Winner of this match to face Parker Bohn III. He won 4 titles last year. Looking for his first one of 99. Learn picks up the 5-pin. Glances at the scoreboard, and
he doesn't like what he sees. Jason Couch working at a 249 pace if he strikes spares out in the 9th and 10th. Bob Learn with all strikes in the 9th and 10th, only 216. So for Learn, it certainly looks as if it's a 5th place finish. Nice to get him back on our telecast.
Okay.
Leaving at 3-6-10. Bob had a great year a couple of years ago. In fact, his best year on tour, 96, when he earned 236,000 plus, and he claimed 100,000 of that with the 10th televised perfect game on national TV. Beat Johnny Petraglia in the flagship Open in Erie. We're going to head to Erie in a few weeks. Picks it up.
Did it in his hometown.
And it's amazing to me. He set a television record 4-game average of 282.
That's beyond me. 282. That's way beyond me.
Couch has this match well in hand. A few years back when you won this tournament, you averaged a little bit lower than the 220, 230 they're averaging this week.
Well, the scores were lower, and the bowlers don't care what they average. Mm-hmm. They really don't. They're trying to win professional tournaments, and if it takes a 240 average to win, or if it takes a 199 average to win, it doesn't matter to these guys. It's just what they do against their competition is Jason Couch, possible 269 game, wants to stay focused for the next match. A little bit light on lane 19. Leaving just the 3-pin.
So now they're finishing out the match.
Giving Bob Learn a little bit of grief, calling him Spin City.
As Jason Couch picks up the spare, and he is going to move on. It will be Jason Couch going up against Parker Bohn in match 2. So match 1, boy, Jason Couch, 249 to Bob Learn's 191. 6 in a row in that ball game for Couch. He'll move on now to take on another left-hander, Parker Bohn III. We're back, and it's Couch and Parker Bohn. These guys have met quite a few times.
There are a lot of history between Bohn and Couch. In the 93 TPC, Couch defeated Bohn 238-214 to win the tournament. But in the 3 other times that Jason has bowled Parker, Parker has been the victor.
First shot, second match.
Another great shot from Jason Couch, and certainly he wants to get off to a fast start against Parker Bohn because Parker does sort of have his number.
And Parker with a strike. He answers. And entering that final game of match play we were watching the other night, Marshall, and Parker was first, dropped all the way to third. Didn't seem to bother him, though.
Parker's got a great attitude, and you know, he's able to let the adversity just sort of fall off his shoulders. You know, Parker won his first tournament back in 1987. It was the Columbia 300 Open. That tournament was bowled up in Seattle. Coming in high, leaving the 4 and the 7-pin. Just not a very good shot from Parker Bohn. Fortunate the 10-pin falls, so no split, so generally a good spare shooter should be able to convert this, and he does.
A couple of cashes this year out of 4 events, starting a little bit slow. Boy, last year he started quick and really was the front runner for PBA Player of the Year till Walter Ray Williams. It was the Walter Ray Williams Jr. Tour, the fall tour.
Yeah, it was Parker early and Walter late.
And Walter picking up another PBA Player of the Year award, his 5th. Couch gets them both to go.
And a very, excuse me, Phil, very unusual strike for Jason Couch. A man who's a power player usually sends the 5-pin going to the right. We'll take a look at this. Here's the 5, there's the 10, and that was very friendly, Jason. A surprised reaction from Jason Couch. Trying for 3 in a row. That's a little more like the Jason Couch I'm used to watching, the 5-pin going over toward the 10-pin.
Boys rolling the ball nice. After a 249 in the opening game, 3 straight strikes to start this second match. Parker, 222 average last year, 214 this year, and able to kick it. The 8-pin.
Okay, Jason, you want a friendly roll? I can do that too. Watch the 6-pin, watch the 8-pin. They're not there anymore. And a little thank you from Parker Bohn III.
Bohn down by 20. 4th frame.
Going for a double. And it's a 6-pin coming in just a little bit high. Parker Bohn and his girlfriend Leslie have started a fan club for Parker called the Bohn Zone, and if you want information on that, it's www.pb3bull.com.
So Parker Bohn with a spare. But the song goes, all your exes live in Texas. Right now, all the exes belong to Jason Couch. He's in command here in match 2.
Jason Couch with 8 strikes in the first game. He has the front 3 here, so that's 11 strikes in 13 frames for Jason. Looking to draw out from a 20 to a 30-pin advantage with a strike here in the 4th. And it is big trouble. The 4, 6, 7, 10, and the 8 is there as well. Just cuts right through the heart. No break at all for Couch.
Coming back off a commercial break, Marshall, sometimes it affects players or not?
I really don't think it has anything to do with that shot from Jason. It's not only does he lead the big split, but he short counts himself as well. And what was a 20-pin lead is now in 1 easy frame, a 3-pin deficit.
So really the commercial break, standing there walking around, doesn't bother these players.
Oh, these players know the way the format is, and they're prepared. Shouldn't be a big deal.
Couch up in the 5th. Got it out. Here it comes. Splatters. Comes right back. A little bit different demeanor than a week ago. Jason Couch.
Yeah, Jason coming in light. Power strike. 5 pins goes off to the right. He looked at his ball rep, Del Ballard, asked him, what did he do wrong on lane 20, as we see Parker Bohn on that very lane. Solid strike.
Boy, Parker had, once again, a great year last year, and he now leads by 3 pins midway through this second game. 4 first-place finishes, a couple of second-place finishes last year.
And let's take a look at what I believe to be the most beautiful game on our tour. Parker Bohn III, just poetry in motion. Very few players you see that are that fluid, that solid. Parker's in a, class by himself as far as his style is concerned. Light hit, carries on lane 19. Remember that 20-pin deficit? Parker now 13 pins in the lead. Ball coming back from quite a ways off to the left. Shakes him down. Parker's tickling the pins over.
So Couch up in the 6th. Needs a double.
He's back, and that's, really what I like about Jason Couch in 1999, better than in years past, is his ability to forget about what he's done bad and just concentrate on being, in the moment. Jason taking a re-rack on lane 19, didn't like the way the pins were set. These guys look at these pins, week in, week out for years.
In their dreams, yeah.
And they can, in just a glance, they can see if the pins aren't spotted correctly. For Jason, probably focusing on the 1 and 2, didn't like the way they looked. He likes the way that looks.
It's not there now. 3 in a row for Jason Couch. As you can see, Jason Couch, beautiful shot, and he is back in this match. In fact, he's on top by 7. We got a dandy going. Parker Bohn trying to answer.
Parker down by 7 pins. This match seesaws back and forth with a strike here. He can take a 3-pin advantage. Will it get back to the pocket? It just barely got back. That ball definitely light all the way. But I'll tell you, the better you get, the luckier you get. And then Parker's certainly a great player. A nice view of that straight arm swing, Parker Bohn. Ball goes a little further left than he wants, but it gets back to the pocket and shakes him down.
Parker up in the 8th frame. High game this week of 290. Low game 169. I'd take that.
That's better. All right.
He liked it, Marshall.
On a shot that he loved. Solid 7. Maybe he should go back to that one that wasn't better.
Parker's been so consistent. He's earned over $100,000 each of the last 7 years.
Watch the 4-pin as it goes around the bottom of the 7. And just does hang on for the spare. A little bit of a loose shot for Parker Bohn.
I tried to miss it.
That's Parker shooting at the 7-pin. Barely. Does pick it up. 2 pins down right now for Jason Couch on lane 20. Oh, look at the 7 as he just barely trips it out with the 4-pin. The same lane that he left that 5-count split on. Watch the 4-pin into the channel, back out, takes care of the 7.
Oh, a little skip-de-do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jason Couch on fire. 3 straight strikes to start the match, and then a big open in the 4th, but has come back strong with 4 straight strikes. Well, he had 8 by 8.
Had 8 strikes the first game. He already has 7 strikes this game. With a strike here in the 9th frame, no matter what Parker Bohn does, he cannot shut out Jason Couch. So big shot here in the 9th.
Stubborn 7.
Flat 7 for Jason Couch. The soft 7, the 4-pin just lays in the channel, does not get back out to knock it down as it did in the previous frame. And
what happens on a flat shot like that? Is it just the ball doesn't finish?
the ball coming in just a little bit late. Not really the fact that it wasn't finishing, just came in a little behind the head pin. No problem with the conversion. Jason Couch, possible 239. Excuse me, 236. Parker Bohn with a possible 239 game. So if Parker can take strikes in the 9th, 10th, and 11th and get 8 pins, he'll be your champion.
He struggled on TV, averaging just 202 on this TV pair. Strike in the 9th. And really, the last 2 games, he shoots 176, 174, and he said he just put that right out of his mind.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for Parker to struggle the way he did late, but no problems here. Look at the solid finish and the great result.
So Bohn can go out with 239 and Jason Couch 236. So it's coming right down to this 10th frame.
Needs 2 strikes and 8 pins to shut out Jason Couch. Bohn up on lane 19. Will it hold? The late trip with the 7-pin. That puts Bohn in the lead. Up by 3 pins to extend to a 13-pin lead. This is the shot of the match right now. And Jason certainly knows it. A strike here, and I don't like Jason's chances because I think Parker can take care of that 8 pins he needs on the fill ball.
Couch still alive.
Not only does he not strike and shut him out, but with that strike with that 8 count right there, there is a distinct possibility of a tie. In fact, right now, Parker looking at the score, if he takes 1, he shoots 226. That would force Jason Couch to go strike spare to tie him. I think he's got to go for the 1. Playing the percentages. Good thinking, Parker.
226 for Parker Bohn, and again, Couch goes strike spare. We have a tie, and should that happen, Marshall?
1-shot roll-off, sudden death. For Jason, it's very simple. The strike here, he still has a chance to win the match outright. Or a tie. Anything less than a strike on this opening shot, Parker Bohn will advance to Bull Patrick Healey Jr. And a little distraction.
Boy, that crucial shot. Steps back.
Take your time. Take your time. Make a shot.
Parker right there cheering him on.
Needs to put that behind him. Concentrate on making the shot here in the 10th frame. Has command of the lane. It's just a matter of can he do it. And it's going to be Parker Bohn the 3rd. And really unfortunate for Couch. Ball hooks just a little bit high, and
so Couch, after winning the opening match with the 249, still a nice effort here in match 2, but is going to fall at least a pin short should he strike on this fill ball. But it's 226 for Parker Bohn, and so Parker, who's won 17 national titles, will take on a player looking for his very first PBA championship in Patrick Healey Jr.
Now, Patrick, another great player. And you're going to see 2 players who have very, very good balance at the foul line. Parker on the left hand, Patrick on the right.
Get it off your hand clean.
So coming up, match 3, our semifinal match. It is Bohn going up against Healey, quite an amateur player. And we'll have that match in a minute. Parker Bohn, 226 to 225. An exciting second match here in the Columbia 300 Open. So Bohn advances now, and he will take on Patrick Healey Jr. in our semifinal match. And the guy on top, look out for Pete Weber. Next three telecasts, Pro Bowlers Tour on ESPN. It's the Chattanooga Open. Join us for the PBA's inaugural stop in Chattanooga. Then it's on to Erie, the flagship Open. The PBA Tour heads to Erie for the flagship Open and the first arena finals of the year at the Erie Civic Center. Then the PBA concludes its winter tour with the first jewel in bowling's Triple Crown, the PBA National Championship from Toledo, Ohio. Join us, Pro Bowlers Tour, right here on ESPN. Now it's time for another Score More with Brunswick tip. This week, Marshall talks about the misconceptions of drifting on the approach.
Welcome to this week's Score More with Brunswick Tip. Our suggestion this week, sent in through the PBA internet site, was from Barbara Del Monte of Clifton, New Jersey. She writes about drifting on the approach. Let me show you what can be right and may be wrong with drifting.
Now, in these shots, you'll see my normal approach. I drift to the left, but I make sure that the leg is underneath the shoulders at the release. That gives me the best opportunity to get the good leverage and accuracy that I need in order to throw the strikes out here on Pro Bowlers Tour. Now, in these shots, I'm going to continue to drift to the left. This is putting my body in a very, very weak position. The ball is not close enough to my ankle, and what happens is the loss of your accuracy, the loss of your leverage, and the ball can't make it back up to the pocket.
The important thing to remember is consistency in your approach. And one way to find out if you are making the approach properly each and every time is put a piece of tape down by one of your feet when you start your approach, and then when you slide on your slide foot, put another piece of tape down there. Then take a few more shots and see if you have continuity between each individual shot. You do this, it'll help out your approach, and it'll certainly raise your scores. And I'll be back next week with another Score More from Brunswick Tip.
All right, thanks a lot, Marshall. I always learn so much listening to Marshall Holman and our tip of the week. We're in Austin. It's the Columbia 300 Open. And coming up, our semifinal match, Parker Bohn III against Patrick Healey Jr. We're just about set for the semifinal match, Parker Bohn III against Patrick Healey Jr. They're warming up right now. And the guy that's been hot all week long, Pete Weber and Marshall Holman. Where is Marshall anyway? Marshall?
All right. Well, here I am. I'm here with Pete Weber. Pete, I watched you in practice. Looks pretty good. Do you have a couple of plans? One straight, one hook, or what's it look like today?
I only have one plan. It's the hook shot, and it's going to be 12 strikes, period.
Oh, that sounds easy enough. Now, I know you've got a sense of history. Your father, Dick Weber, the great Dick Weber, 26-time PBA titleist. You've won 24. How important is that to catch up with Dad?
Well, that's one of my goals in my career is to have more titles than you, Dad, when I get done. So look out, because number 25 is coming today.
This guy sounds like a very, very confident player. Pete, good luck to you today. Well, let's throw it back up to Phil.
All right, thanks a lot, Marshall. And Pete, it's just a matter of when Pete Weber says goal, the PBA Player of the Year. Pete was a Rookie of the Year when he was 18, but we'll have to wait for this match and see just who will face Pete Weber in the title match. Good look at a good young player, Patrick Healey Jr. Brings it back. And an errant first shot for Healey, who is going to take off next week. He told me the other night, injured his lower back and leg, 30 years old, out of Chesterfield, Michigan. But what a great resume, amateur resume. Still trying to win out here on tour. Gets two, so went for count in that opening frame, and that's an open. Don't want to leave too many opens for Parker Bohn.
Now, tough way to start. Patrick Healey Jr., the 2, the 8, and the 10. Parker Bohn on lane 20 has not missed. 5 for 5. Well, he leaves the bucket. There's the 3, 5, the... We take a look at this shot from Parker. The ball just does not hook back into the pocket. And it's a difficult spare, the 3, the 5, the 6, and the 9.
Nice match play record, 17 and 7. Got him into that number 3 position as he picks it up. Parker in the second frame, as he won the second match, 226 to 225, getting the crowd going.
Do you think Parker's comfortable out there?
Nice to be relaxed, but yet focused. Looked like he pulled it just a bit.
Well, he left that same shot in the second frame of the last game on the left-hand lane, the 4 and the 7. Maybe Parker should stop talking to the crowd and take care of business there, Mr. Bohn.
No doubt he'll be in the Hall of Fame someday. 17 national titles. A couple of spares to start match 3. So Healey, after that open in the first frame. What a nice style. When you're talking about stylists, Patrick Healey.
Well, a player we'll be seeing a lot of in the years to come. Just too good of a bowler not to win out here. Great international experience and certainly a wonderful shot in the second frame. Ball coming right into your living room and just squashes him.
Healey made a couple of shows last year, finishing 3rd and 4th. He's cashed 2 or 3 events this year. Boy, that's smooth. That is silk.
Good delivery, great reaction, great adjustment from the 2-8-10 he left on lane 19 to start with. Watch the balance at the foul line. That's what I really like. I mean, just so solid, Phil.
So Parker, a couple of spares.
Trailing by 1. Make it 2. You know, Phil, last week we were in Dallas for the Don Carter tournament, and I apologize to the great Don Carter. Mr. Bowling, I neglected to make mention. He wasn't able to make it because of prior commitments. He wasn't there in Dallas, but Don, I know you're back in Florida watching, and you're the greatest.
No doubt about that. And I apologize, too, because he's a legend. What a great player.
Parker Bohn changing balls. This ball should go a little longer and then snap harder in the back end. Let's see how it works.
Oh, did just that.
So important to know your equipment, Phil.
And you got to be in control to be able to make the change there on television.
Moves it a little bit to the right, throws it farther left. That ball comes back. That's a strong reacting ball.
Healey on a double. Try to get the 10, and no.
Going for the Texas Bird Dog on that shot. Didn't quite get what is normally called the messenger, but down here they call it the Bird Dog, and it comes up just a little short.
Marsh, you find players tend to adjust for the most part too early or too late, especially on TV?
Well, generally they adjust too late, and you know, it's a 10-frame match on television goes so fast, Bill, and you really need to make the adjustments early. You need to, you know, if it doesn't look right, you know, get off that horse and try something else.
So just a little hesitant to make that change. We have 10 frames on television. Healey up in the 5th. Beautiful shot. Tight match. Semi-final match. Pete Weber waiting to face the winner.
Ball makes the charge back. We'll see how Patrick Healey reacts to another strike. All right. Doesn't show a lot of emotion. Really keeps things very, very even-keeled. Parker, he'll give you a little more action. And reaction.
So Parker now that doubled out in front by 9 pins midway through this match. Oh, yeah.
He knows it was a good shot. You can just feel it. When it comes off your hand right, you can tell. You can't always tell it's going to strike or not, but you know that it's going to be solid.
Parker taking a little extra time. What's that shot clock? 25 seconds?
25-second shot clock. You have...
Till when you get on the approach or pick up your ball?
When the other bowler steps off of the lane, you have 25 seconds to initiate your approach, which means that's taking your first step, pushing the ball away.
Bohn in the 6th.
Up by 9 pins. And Parker's starting to feel it.
So Bohn up by 19. And he is in command, at least for the time being. But don't go away. Much more action from Austin.
There's Teresa, Patrick Healey's lovely wife, watching and hoping for a double here in the 6th frame. What a great amateur career. World Amateur Bowler of the Year in 95 and 96, and he did it throwing strikes like that.
Beautiful shot off the hand of Patrick Healey. Cuts the lead now to 9. 3-time U.S. Amateur Player of the Year. 91, 92, and 95. Still got to win out here in the Pro Tour.
Well, he will. Whether it gets by Parker Bohn today and has a chance at Pete Weber, that remains to be seen. But the talent of this young man is way, way, way too good not to win.
That's 3 in a row, and Patrick wanted to say hi to his stepson, Victor, watching at home. So how you doing, Victor? Patrick's hanging in there.
Patrick's doing more than hanging in there. He's 1 pin Pete winner in the Columbia 300 here in Austin. Parker Bohn with the opportunity to do just that.
8th frame.
Well, you can see that ball coming in a little high. That has more drive. That particular ball will hook harder back into the pocket. Needs to give it the room. Didn't get far enough to the left. Fortunate just before, or just the 6 and the 10 are standing. Excuse me.
Well, I heard Parker on the break saying that he made the right adjustment for the time being, picking up another ball, but didn't work that shot.
No, you have to give up something in order to get something out on Pro Bowlers Tour, and what he's giving up is the ball holding the pocket, staying in the pocket, going down the lane. And what he's getting for it is the ball returning way from the right.
Like that.
There it is. That ball came in from left to right hard. Parker Bohn, beautiful arm swing, solid finish. 10 in the pit for Parker, and that's better.
Healey now with a 13-pin advantage. 3-pin advantage. 8th frame. Should he get a strike here, it's up to 13. And that's just what he does. Boy. Showing off that amateur form.
A very smooth and calculated player. So important to know what the different balls can do for each player. You know, back when I was bowling on the tour, it was pretty much put the ball in your hand and make it work for you. Today, these balls can do so many different things that the bowlers really need to be on top of what these particular pieces of equipment can do for their given games.
Healey in the 9th, bringing it back a little bit too much.
Softened his speed. And right now, everything seems to be going Parker's way as Healey talking to himself right now. It's the 3, the 4, the 6, the 7, and the 10. It's easier to make than it looks. It's just like it's just the baby split with a little help to the left of it.
Kick that 3-pin over, you got a shot, huh?
Get the ball right at that 3-pin, and he got too much of the 3-pin, and boy, what a great position he was in. Had a chance to really put the big-time heat on Parker Bohn, and now he puts him right back in the match, and Parker with a 6-pin lead. So not unlike the last match with the ebb and flowing both ways.
Bohn on top by 6, 9th frame, working on a strike.
A reprieve for Healey. Solid 7-pin. Parker did everything he wanted to do, but the 7-pin did not fall over.
So another tight match here in the semifinal match. A 6-pin advantage for Parker as he steps up into the 10th frame.
Still has the opportunity to shut out Patrick Healey Jr. with a couple of strikes and then a 5-pin fill.
5-pin fill. Got it out this time. And
oh my gosh, what an air ball from Parker. That's what I was trying to figure out, Parker. That ball, that's one of the worst shots I've ever seen Parker throw in a key situation. You know, he's happy that he didn't leave a wide open split or the washout. So, you know, the 7-pin did fall over.
loses 3 in count. He leads by 3. Picks it up.
Yeah, now for Parker, all he needs to do is to get 8 pins or better, and it would force Patrick Healey to double in the 10th frame. But Parker wanted to. Yeah, congratulations, I made a spare. A little sarcasm from Parker there. Oh boy!
The tumbler.
Well, yeah, Parker, you hit the head pin. Congratulations.
So he finishes with a 212.
Take a look at these pins. 3 left, none left, and Healey watches, and he won't give you much of a reaction. Very calm demeanor. Must have this first strike for any chance. And it's light, and it's a 2-pin, and it's Parker Bohn. He'll be going up against Pete Weber in our finals, and boy, both players having trouble late in the game.
So Healey, he gets a spare and strike. That's 209, but still a couple of pins short. Parker Bohn going to move on to take on Pete Weber. Healey picks up the spare. And it should be a dandy title match. But again, you talk about Patrick Healey, and he's going to win. And again, it won't be today. He'll take the 3rd place finish. 212 to 209. It's Parker Bohn over Patrick Healey. And coming up, Pete Weber. Now, he's won 24 PBA titles. Parker Bohn has won 17. Oh, should be a great match. Our title match here in the Columbia 300 Open. Nice look at the trophy in the background. Parker Bohn squeaks out yet another one. Does he have one more left? We'll find out against Pete Weber, 212 to 209. Take a look at our tournament summary. Jason Couch defeated Bob Learn Jr. 249 to 191 in that opening match. And then it was Bohn over Couch, 226-225. Bohn again over Healey, 212 to 209. So it's going to be Bohn going up against Pete Weber. And Marshall has a look at some of the other finalists.
Well, coming in 6th place, Jeff Lizzie, as he just misses out. Steve Jarris, he and his wife June, expecting twins later on this summer. Brian Himmler, he won in Albuquerque a couple weeks ago, and Robert Smith, the runner-up for 98 Rookie of the Year honors. Sean Quinn, 2nd-year pro, making a strong finish. Henry Gonzalez, part-timer, used to bowl full-time back in the 70s and 80s. He made a good finish in 11th. And Dave Husted, the PBA Hall of Famer with 13 titles. Michael Gaither, another top 24 appearance for him. And Mike Huggan Jr. making his 2nd career PBA television appearance a couple weeks ago in Albuquerque. Dave D'Entremont getting it going again, go Double D. Justin Romick, his 2nd consecutive match play appearance. And Paul Fleming, he led with Dale Eagle in Reno. Eric Forkel, 4-time PBA winner and 1990 PBA national champion. And Jason Hurd, he won with Petraglia in Reno. And Leto Monticelli, the 2-time PBA Player of the Year and Hall of Famer. Joe Firpo, 1 title. Brian Voss trying to win again. Mike Scroggins, Rick Lawrence making the top 24 in consecutive weeks, and Tommy DeLuce Jr., he was our alternate.
Well, just a great week here at Highland Lanes, the Pro-Am, a huge success, and now we've come down to the title match, Pete Weber against Parker Bohn, the 3rd, 41 national titles among the 2 players competing for the championship. Weber getting in a shot or 2. Practice before we start the title match.
You know, Phil, we've never had a repeat champion here at the Columbia 300 tournament at Highland Lanes in Austin, Texas, but we will today because Pete Weber, he won this tournament in '84.
He beat some guy by the name of Marshall Holman, didn't he?
You had to bring that up, didn't you? And Parker Bohn III, he's also won this tournament, so there will be a repeat champion today.
But you won in '83. You were looking to win back-to-back, weren't you?
I tried.
At the young kid, Pete Weber. Parker Bohn starts off the title match with a convincing strike. Weber told you 12 strikes, right?
10 in the pit for Parker Bohn III, and he knows he's bowling the great Pete Weber, and he wants to get off to a fast start. And now Pete, our first look, lane 20. He likes to play the big hook, slow rolling it. Boy, the 6-pin took care of that 10-pin.
Boy, over the years, it's just been a lot of fun to watch Pete Weber, Rookie of the Year at the age of 18. Now he's 36 from Santa Ana, Missouri. 24 PBA titles. 20 years as a touring pro. He's cashed 2 out of 3 events this year.
6 major victories for Pete, so he knows how to win the big ones. And some energy early. This is a big match. You know, it takes on a whole new level when it's Bohn against Weber. We'll take one more look at Pete Weber. High backswing. Starts the ball out around the 17th board, swings it all the way out to 5, brings it back, 10 pins. Let's get that 10-pin lead. Oh, will it last?
Bad break, good break.
Well, it was a solid 8 for Parker Bohn. The ball driving in front of the 8-pin, but a pin came out of nowhere to take care of business.
All strikes here in the title match, and Parker defeated Pete Weber by a couple of pins in match play. But this is the brand new game going for the title. 3 in a row. Is it different bowling somebody like a Parker Bohn if you're Pete Weber compared to a Patrick Healey?
Well, you know, both these gentlemen want to win. We'll take a look at the repetitive high flush shot of Parker Bohn. Takes care of things. 3 in a row, and it's more fun when you beat one of the greats, and these 2 of our best players on tour.
Got it out, got it back, all strikes.
Well, it's a little early, but it is 10,000 for a perfect game. We have had a perfect game here as we see another great shot from the excitable Pete Weber. C.K. Moore, he bowled 300 on our televised finals a couple of years ago, went on to win that tournament.
Weber in the 4th. Oh, brought that one back.
Watches the ball, goes through the pocket as we see the style of Pete Weber, swinging it way out. Watch the second, you can see the 9-pin. The ball actually finishes in front of the 9-pin. But they're all taken care of as Parker now 10 pins down.
Fourth frame, not quite.
That one.
Didn't like his release. Parker's mic'd. He said he missed it. What he means by that is he did not get the proper lift on the ball. You know, they have a little room out on the lane if they release the ball properly. That time for Parker. And he sticks. He makes the spare, but it's an 11-pin lead for Pete Weber as Parker Bohn III misses in the 4th frame.
Ooh.
Boy, that was close to a foul.
He fouled.
Yeah, he's just testing the approach.
We can't use instant replay and bowling. That looked like he fouled. All right, Parker gets it out, coming back, and he's right back in it. Parker been on TV a number of times. 65 appearances, 47 and 50 with a 221 average.
I don't believe the foul lights are on right now.
Maybe it was our angle.
Well, it's a little too difficult for you to be making those calls, Phil, but it did look close. Hang on. Pete gets slower and slower with his ball speed. The ball creeps higher and higher. Fortunate, it's only the 3 and the 10. The 4-pin was also there for a moment. There is a foul line judge watching. Pat Dolan, working for the PBA Tour. He is watching the foul line to make sure nobody goes over. Can Pete make it? No, it will not get back, and now Pete is behind in the match.
Midway through the match.
3-pin deficit.
We got a good one.
Ball will not hook back. Gets the 10, but doesn't get the 3, and he is not pleased.
Pete inducted into the Hall of Fame last November, making him and his father, legendary Dick Weber, the only father-son duo to be elected into the PBA Hall of Fame. Pete in the 6th.
Solid 4. I guess it's probably a little late for my dad to come out on tour and make it to the Hall of Fame. Nah, maybe not.
Pete's in several Halls of Fame. And his father, too. Picks up the single pin spare. Weber is right now down by 3.
Here we are
to Highland Lanes in Austin, a dandy of a match. It's Parker going up against Pete Weber.
Now we're going to take a look at what might have been a foul, I believe.
In the 4th frame.
He's shooting at the 3-pin. You take a look at the foot, and it does look precariously close. Now, I don't know if they can reverse that now. I mean,
they've taken it away.
My gosh, they did take the spare away from him, and that's surprising to me.
That's the first that I can remember on a telecast.
I've never seen that happen before, and now it's really going to test Parker Bohn and his powers of concentration. Forget about that. Did he catch that one?
Beautiful.
Yeah, that extra intensity, that had a little bit to do with that spare being taken away from Parker Bohn III. He's now 1 pin up. He's mad. Definitely fired up, Phil.
Sometimes that gives you that little boost. We'll wait and see, but Bohn, 3 in a row. Fouled on that 9 count in the 4th and come back with a double.
And he leaves the 7-pin. Match is all even right now, and Phil, congratulations. You went out on a limb and said it looked like a foul, and you were right. But hanging in there as he leaves the 7-pin. He stays behind the line, makes that 7-pin spare.
So now Dick, I was going to say Dick Weber, and I was thinking Pete Weber, of course, with a win today, just 1 behind his dad with 26 titles. Pete now 24.
Ways to go.
7th frame. This match even. A little bit better speed.
Weber back in the pocket on lane 20. Ball comes from way, way off the right. Hooks back into the pocket.
He's had a great career. Career as a top seed, however, 10 and 12, 215 average.
For the double. Oh, what a break. He likes playing the big hook. I'm really surprised that he doesn't occasionally try and throw the ball straighter, but look what this power can do as that ball came back on the 3 board. And a great reaction from Pete Weber. Thank you for giving me a break.
Just nipped the head pin, but enough. Power ball. Parker comes right back in the 8th frame. Down by 10. Comes down to the 9th and 10th, Marsh. We've had some exciting games.
Well, this is what we hope for when we get ready to do a telecast of Pro Bowlers Tour. We want to see good competitive matches from the greatest players in the world, and we're certainly getting it today. Parker took a re-rack on lane 19, and the lefties have taken many re-racks on that lane. Must not like the way the 1 and the 2 pin are set up. You know, he left the 10 pin last time on this lane. Can he get it done now?
Yeah, baby. Come on now.
Parker with the color commentary of his own shot.
Yeah, baby. Come on.
Got a couple excited players.
Pete Weber working on 2 strikes. The match is all even. Is it a 10-pin lead for Weber, or is it just a 10-pin?
There he
Now
goes.
Weber down by 1 pin. Great spare shooter, Phil. Excuse me.
Yep. So we go to the 10th frame.
Weber down by 1. If he strikes twice, he'll get back into the lead.
That's all right.
Parker asking if the score is correct. Weber on the TV Barrett scored 191, but has bowled very well here this afternoon.
Oh my gosh, and in the 10th frame, what a bad time for a bad shot. And Parker did the same thing the last game. Got up in the 10th frame and threw an air ball, and Weber leaving the 2, the 4, the 10. And that is going to be an extraordinarily disappointing finish for Pete Weber. The chance for the title right within his reach. And for Parker,
9 pins or so, and he's a winner.
9 pins in his first ball, and it's over.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, coming back 3 in a row, and then in the 4th frame, he just joined us right now. They gave him a spare, but clear that he fouled, and they took away that pin, but he has come back with a double, a spare, 2 in a row. Needs 9 to win.
That's enough. And I'm not, Phil, I'm not positive the score is correct. However, I'm sure it's official.
Okay. Parker Bohn, the winner here in Austin, the Columbia 300 Open.
And he points at the foul line after that shot as to say, I'm able to stay behind the line, no problem. Parker Bohn with his 18th PBA title.
Looks down at the foul line on that shot and gets them all to go.
Parker having some fun. Title number 18.
Many times behind the foul line. Big ball. Oh, yeah, I didn't even know that.
225 to 211. Pete Weber loses to Parker Bohn. Bohn's 18th title.
And a very strange match. I still cannot remember ever seeing a person foul, have it not be called a foul, and then 2 frames later, they say, we're taking that spare away from you. And for Parker to hang on and keep it together mentally, I mean, I could only imagine what a younger Marshall Holman might have done in that situation.
And he came back with 2 strikes, and really in that 7th frame, he left that 7 pin, but yet able to remain focused and comes back with a stunning win. Very interesting here on the Columbia 300 Open, 225 to 211. Now let's take a look back at today's Ginkova moment of concentration.
And it's Parker Bohn III. Parker Bohn III, knowing he needs 9 pins, also knowing he needs to concentrate keeping his foot from going over the foul line, takes care of business.
So there you have it. That's today's Ginkova moment of concentration. Think better, think Ginkova. Parker Bohn III, the winner here in Austin. That's his 18th PBA championship. Back in a minute.